I hope you are all having a joyous Easter. Though we all celebrate independently today, we still are all one body, one faith under Christ. We still celebrate together with that faith. My story today is on a friend of mine that I call Little One. The first part of this story is from 2012, when Little One was 7 years old. Every so often, you see an example of honour in parenting, and it breaks your heart into wee little pieces. The boy, I'll call him Little One, had accidentally broken his friends' neighbours' game system. I saw the neighbour parents building up to a blow. I hobbled out until Little One's dad could get outside to be with him. I asked Little One, "You okay?" Big lip. One single tear came down, but he stands up straight, with his hand holding mine, and turns to his friend and the irate parents and says, very solemnly, "I am sorry. I broke the button on the game. We were excited, and I tried to make it come on faster. Please, please, forgive me." He's only 7 years old. Then he whips around, grabs me, sobbing his wee little heart out. His papa heard the end of this, which totally disarmed all of the other parents there. No more fire in anyone's eyes or voices, just so many tears and so much love. Papa picks up Little One from me and says quietly, "I'll buy you whatever a new one that you need." He didn't mean it. Now, please accept his apology so that he can know he is forgiven on earth and in heaven. For that was the lesson 2 weeks ago, and he won't sleep unless he knows his soul is safe. Tears and hugs all around. Forgiveness is offered and greatly accepted by Little One. Papa didn't know it, but the neighbours there have already paid that financial debt for him. I handed over my last $20 with, "Use this to start paying for a new one." And everyone else walked over with 20, 10, whatever they could spare. The leftover amount will be given to Little One to buy his own game. That he should remember the teachings of the Bible class so well, that it inspires him to resolve each issue each day. At 7 years old, the numerous Bible passages where Christ charges the disciples to go out and forgive sins. What you forgive on earth is forgiven in heaven. What you have held bound on earth is held bound in heaven. And then, with God the Father Almighty, what you forgive on earth is forgiven in heaven too. But if you don't forgive, I won't forgive you your sins. You must be forgiven, forgiving to be forgiven. You must be remorseful and seek forgiveness to be forgiven of your sins. May that all of us learn this teaching, so that we forgive those who transgress against us each day, and those against whom we transgress, so that each day we may begin anew, fresh, and without the burden of the previous day's transgressions or events. And that, when we do err, we immediately accept the responsibility for our actions and the consequences thereof. The consequences increase in all of the dithering about and the casting aspersions about others and upon others, trying to lay the blame upon them. When one stands up, as this very small child did, admit your error, and stand in the place for punishment, less happens than if you go on the other route, for you gain the respect of the victim and support of all who see you ready to bear the burden. The other frequent topic of the scriptures and the Bible lessons that comes up for little one is, you must forgive your brother his wrongdoings against you. If you have hatred for your brother, do not come to temple. If you have hatred for your brother in your heart and it is unresolved, you will never see the kingdom. Little one wonders why no sisters got into trouble. But I explained to him brothers meant siblings, all brothers, sisters, and before he asked, half-brothers and step two. Oh, wow, he whispered. I've got a whole lot of work to do then. Little one, I explained, if they aren't over 12 years old, it doesn't count. And it must be a very serious, horrible hate, where you no longer ever speak or communicate in any way because of the hate and injured feelings. It isn't your 6-year-old sister, half-sister is angry because you shot her with the sprinkler. Oh, okay. And he was off. But we would speak on it again later, I knew. May we all wish to reconcile, or be reconciled, with anyone of our family with whom we are estranged. After age 50, you will lose someone in your family every 3 years on average. Don't wait. The little one still remembers this lesson 8 years later. Every time he causes someone else to have to go to an extra effort or time because of him, he apologizes. He is now nearly 15 years old. He turns in May. God be willing he lives to see that day. Enjoy. I sit with him whenever the weather allows, as he sits on his front stoop reading, talking to the bunnies. You can tell he's been around me, and the squirrels and the birds. The wild creatures sense his specialness and allow him to come close, or they go right up to him without any hesitation. Little one and I talk about God's love for him and how he can make mistakes, and God will never, ever stop loving him. Nor will your parents. Nor will I whisper to him as I hug him. The only moments I wish my womb was not barren. When he heard Cruiser Cat had died in 2018, he gave me a beautiful drawing of the kitty. He has now seen my kittens through the window and looks forward to meeting his new little brothers. I've emailed his parents to let them know I still live in isolation, and I'd be happy to help do any necessary tutoring that little one may call on me at any time while his parents, angels of service that they are at work. I've shared a few tentative texts with him this past week. He doesn't have a cell phone. He doesn't carry electronics. I hope little one doesn't harden or change too much as he finishes puberty. He is truly one of the Lord's very special creations, for his heart and mind are so open to God's love, to his message, that he is an example to all people today. When the wild animals trust you, you know the heart is quiet, for they sense no evil intent. They can be wrong, but their lives depend on their instincts, so they are very good judges of humans. Little one is a person that is silent and still, inside and outside. He carries no electronic devices ever. He clearly hears God speaking to him. And when I shared my visitations with him, he rejoiced to know there was someone else like him who actually heard and spoke with God. This is a special child. He is the promise of our future.